We're at the Independent Show 2022 with Matt Polka, and it's been about 6 years since
It has been 6 years, exactly.
Yeah, I've been on camera with this T-shirt. I love this T-shirt, though, Matt.
It looks good on you. I love that
thank
black
you.
and gold.
Thank you, and it means a lot because, it was for many reasons, but it was from you. And Matt, obviously, this is you're unemployed now.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But I think you still have an interesting perspective on what we saw here the last couple of days. So why don't we talk about that first, and then I have a couple other bonus questions.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the first thing is it's great to be with you, Ken, and all of your folks at VOD, and it's just great to be here at the Independent Show. It's one of the things I said here in my closing remarks is this is about family, and it always has been, it always will be. As I reflected on my time over the last 25 years, bringing my family here 20 years ago, literally for the first time, it's become family for us. And so that's what this has been, a group coming together, enjoying each other, but also learning from each other and expanding our industry, expanding our connections, and reaching out deeper into our communities. So it's been a great event.
And it's amazing because each of the attendees here are coming from their companies. They're leaders in their communities, right? It's
have to be. Well, our members live and work in their communities. This is where they're from. They're committed to their communities, so they want to make it better. And they have a vested interest. I mean, I always like to say over the last 25 years, their small markets are their New York cities. You know, that's where they live, and they're determined to make it better.
But they don't have that anonymity of New York City right there.
No. I mean, that is something that they see their customers in church, in the grocery store, wherever, but it also builds connection and relationship where they can really focus on what needs to get done and how better they can serve.
So from a takeaway perspective, any takeaways for you from this?
Certainly from what I used to do at ACA Connects, from the policy front, there's just great concern about application of broadband funding. Will it be funded appropriately? Will it be funded fairly? Will private investment that has built broadband, will that be respected and not overbuilt? That's a question we don't know the answer to yet, and we will see as this money flows out to the states, from the federal government, et cetera. And that's certainly something that I know ACA Connects will be working on. Secondly, what's the threat of regulation going forward on the broadband industry? As we saw a few years ago, when there are regulations imposed on broadband businesses, the ability to finance further development just plummets. And even the threat of that in Washington could have a significant effect. Doesn't seem like that's the case right now, but it has to be something that the ACA Connects will be focused on, as I know they will be.
So I want to give my takeaway in a second, but first, it didn't really, I think it was only mentioned once, retransmission consent. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw that dagger at you.
No, that's okay. I had a lot of fun talking to our ACA Connects new president and CEO, Grant Spellmeyer, asking him the question, when's retransmission consent going to be fixed? Because it's something members always ask me, exactly. So I don't have to answer it anymore. But it is an issue. It's raising prices. I don't really see Washington doing anything about it, but if it continues to go out of control, something will happen soon. I'm sure of it.
One of the recurring themes that seemed to me, and maybe it's just that's where I was tuned, was how influences early in one's career, whether that might be a high school job like Monster Mike, or others, Lou doing local content in New York. I'm curious what sort of job you might have had that really impacted you when you were young, that maybe you learned lessons there that were more valuable than any others.
It's a really good question. I think I would say in response to that, maybe not directly responding, but I started out as a lawyer not intending to be having a career in cable. But just because of the way things worked in my law firm, I ended up in a section where I started to do corporate work on cable television. And from there, literally, as one door would close, another one would open. And I feel that's the good Lord's leading over the years, to be honest with you, because it's led me to this wonderful place that I've been in for the last 25 years. From a lawyer doing cable work to becoming general counsel of a small cable company that started to get involved in Washington work when Congress re-regulated our business in 1992, to ultimately becoming president and CEO of an organization in 1997, which I'm just stepping down from today. That's just sort of the the path that I didn't intend, that I think God did, but it's been a blessing for me. And what I would say in terms of lessons learned or influences, it's just been really our members. They are so engaged. They're so wonderful. They're so committed. It's been so easy to represent them. They've been an inspiration every day. They've inspired me. I've so enjoyed traveling the country to see them and to see all of the great things they do and to be able to tell that story. And then lastly, it's just the concept of working with a team. Our team is so great. They're the best in the business, pound for pound. There's not a better team than ACA Connects. I said last night in reflecting on them, I'm certainly not and have never been the smartest guy in the room, but rather I've become smarter just because of them and the ability that we've had to work together. So they've been great, and they are very, very committed to our members. So can't say enough about them.
Well, and it's a testament to that, the fact that they're here. I mean, you don't have a lot of churn. I mean, they've been there solid, right?
It truly is. I mean, we do have staff that have been with us many over 10 years and even more. They're committed. And I think their values reflect what I just shared with you, which is that inspiration that they derive from our members, and they're just happy to serve them every day.
Well, you used to joke about being a recovering lawyer, and I didn't realize that you really meant it when you told us about your nightmares.
No, absolutely. Seriously. Yes, I did tell a story last night about nightmares while I was still employed by ACA Connects as president and CEO, where I would have a nightmare that I left this wonderful job, this wonderful blessing I've had, and I would wake up and I would realize, or rather, in the dream, I went back to work at a law firm, and it's like, why would I do that and leave a dream job? But I never had to go back to the law firm. I was able to stay here at ACA Connects throughout my career, as I had hoped that I would be, just because this was truly a calling for me, and I'm just very, very glad to have had 25 years of service, and we'll see how I can continue to serve going forward.
Matt, I have to thank you. I mean, so many people gave such great tributes. The fact that you had videos from both sides of the aisle, I think that said everything. But personally, for what you've done for me, my family, the way you've just embraced us and introduced me to parts of the industry I never would have known. I have nothing but love and respect for you, and admiration and inspiration.
Well, thank you, my friend. And like I said, it's family. You know, we're family, we're friends, you know, we're brothers, we're connected in this industry, just as so many are in this wonderful business. And it's kind of ironic because it is business, it's work after all. But what we gather and what we really retain are the relationships, the people, the friendships beyond the work world, where we realize, hey, beyond work, we have marriages, we have families, we have kids, we have colleges, we have mortgages, and things like that, where we can commiserate, we can also share, we can help to support, and we can always be there whenever anybody calls. And that's been truly a blessing that I've received, and I hope I've been able to give back a little bit of that, and hope to give back more of that in the future.
Excellent. Well, and I'll wear this shirt proudly.
There we go. Let's
Thanks,
go, Pence.
Matt.
Good to see you, brother.